Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Arctic Money. Before telling you what this channel will be about, I think it's only appropriate that I first introduce myself to you. My name is Kristian Niemi, I'm 31 years old, I'm from Helsinki, Finland. During my life I have also lived in Mikkeli, Finland, and I have been on exchange as an exchange student twice, first in Birmingham, UK and Lisbon, Portugal, so I have lived in those countries as well. I have done my candidate level degree in Aalto University School of Economics Mikkeli campus. I did it in international business, and I have done my master's degree at Hanken School of Economics Helsinki, where my main subject was international management and strategy. I have work experience also in fast-moving consumer goods industry. My hobby is what I like to do on free time is play tennis and golf. I also like to watch sports on television, mostly football and American football. My number one team in football has always been since the days of Dennis Bergkamp Arsenal, but I do have some love also for Aston Villa because I used to live in Birmingham, UK, and I used to study and play football at Aston University School, so of course I have some love for Villa too. In American football, my favorite team is Las Vegas Raiders. Been to Vegas once and I really loved the place, but I have also cheered for the team from the days when they were in Oakland before too. What else? What kind of music I like? I like many different kinds of music, but when I checked my Spotify data for 2020, the most listened bands there were Mötley Crüe, Eminem and The Weeknd, and lots of Finnish rap music, so I guess it's then a little bit rock and a little bit rap and hip-hop what my music taste is. Talking about taste, my favorite kitchens, what I like to eat the most when I go out, I must say maybe Japanese food, sushi and grill, Japanese style. Russian meat dishes are excellent, and I also like Mexican tacos. Those are good. And what I like to drink when I go out, my favorite drinks must be maybe whiskey sour or then just a plain good old normal fresh lager. That's about it. That's who I am, and maybe next I tell you what this YouTube channel will be about. Okay, let's see. What is Arctic Money about? What will this YouTube channel be about? Next I'm gonna present to you my kind of core values and principles of my investing. 5 rules, if you will, that has guided and will guide my investing in the future also. I think it's important for me to present kind of my philosophy in investing to you right here in the first videos of this YouTube channel, so that you can determine yourself if this channel is something for you or then it is not something for you. But let's see. Let me tell you about my principles, the things that guide me forward as an investor. Mission of Arctic Money. Arctic Money's mission is to educate and entertain people interested in investing with long-term focus and help them in search for a better and happier life with more financial freedom. This is what I aim to achieve at my YouTube channel, and I feel like this is the mission of the channel at the moment, and so the videos coming up will correspond to this mission. Charlie Munger. The best thing a human being can do is to help another human being know more. Well, that's what I try to achieve with this channel. I try to teach some the persons on YouTube, the people on YouTube who are interested in investing. I try to teach you what I have learned myself by far, and hopefully I'm hoping I also learn more by doing this project and learn more from you guys as vice versa. The first rule: you will lose money and make mistakes sometimes. Own your mistakes and learn from them. So that's inevitable. When investing, you will not have a 100% success rate. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls legend. So if the greatest ever basketball player claims that he has become so good by failing, then I guess failing is not something one should be afraid of, not in investing also. In this business, if you're good, you're right 6 times out of 10. You're never going to be right 9 times out of 10. Peter Lynch, also echoing the same words, you will not have the 100% success rate, so you might as well accept it. Mistakes are the path to progress, Ray Dalio. I feel like it's okay to make mistakes, almost as many as you like, as long as you just keep learning from those mistakes and do not do the same mistake twice. Rule number 2. Look for the sustainable competitive advantage in companies, the moat. Here I found the explanation of economic moat by Investopedia.com and wanted to show it to you guys. The term economic moat, popularized by Warren Buffett, refers to a business ability to maintain competitive advantages over its competitors in order to protect its long-term profits and market share from competing firms. Just like a medieval castle, the moat serves to protect those inside the fortress and their riches from the outsiders. So the moat, those of you whose native language is not English, the moat is the water area that goes around a medieval castle, and thus protecting the castle from any attackers. That's what is meant by a moat, what the word actually means. But continuing from Warren Buffett here, the key to investing is not assessing how much an industry is going to affect society or how much it will grow, but rather determining the competitive advantage of any given company and above all, the durability of that advantage. So the moat in economics is something that prevents your competitors coming and taking your business. For example, a moat can be, for a medical company, a moat could be some valuable patent with some special medicine. A moat can be a great top brand. For example, Coca-Cola would be an example of those kind of brand moat. Or moat can be superior technology compared to competitors' products. I would like to say Apple's iPhone here. Or then moat can be something like network effects of the business, kind of like Facebook. So there are many different types of moats, and naturally the more moats one business has, the better the business is. I try to invest in businesses that are so wonderful that an idiot can run them, because sooner or later one will, Warren Buffett. Ouch to all CEOs of the world. At least Warren Buffett doesn't think all of them are exceptionally good in what they do. But this just highlights that if you have a great company with great sustainable moats, even a bad CEO most likely cannot ruin it. And I think this is what Warren Buffett wants to say with this one. Rule number 3, good things come slowly, keep the long-term focus. So in my investing, I do this always with long-term focus in mind. I'm not expecting to have any, I'm not expecting the stock to go up next week or next month, definitely not. Actually, when looking at my investing so far, I think the shortest time period I have held a stock is something between 9 to 12 months. This stock was Disney, and that was my theory and play with that investing was Disney Plus before its launch in Europe and US, and I was expecting the Disney stock to be too low, and expectations on how good the Disney Plus streaming service will be of being too low, so I thought there was value there, and there actually was value, and it took 9 months to 12 months, and the Disney stock went up by I can't remember how much, but it went up very much more than I expected. So then I just decided to sell it, because my theory of Disney Plus being a success happened faster than I initially thought, so it was a natural point to sell. But what I tried to highlight with this one is that that was my shortest period I have ever hold a stock. It was something between 9 to 12 months, and all other stocks I have owned and I am owning now, I'm keeping longer than that. Most likely some of them great amount of time longer than that. If you aren't willing to own a stock for 10 years, don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes. Put together a portfolio of companies whose aggregate earnings march upward over the years, and so also will the portfolio's market value. Warren Buffett. So again, with Warren Buffett valuing investing, long-term investing, which I try to do here also, if you're not comfortable with the idea of holding some stock for 10 years, you probably shouldn't invest in that. In the short term, the market is a popularity contest. In the long term, a market is a weighing machine. Warren Buffett. Well, this is a classic, this one. In the short term, the stocks that will go most up are the hottest stocks, the ones that media is talking the most about. But in the long term, the stocks that will go up are the best companies out there with best moats. And that's a fact. It's waiting that helps you as an investor, and a lot of people just can't stand to wait. If you didn't get the deferred gratification gene, you've got to work very hard to overcome that. So Charlie Munger here only continuing that you need to have the ability to sit down and not do anything. Just wait for your theory to play out, and sometimes it can take long to play out. The typical big winner in the Lynch portfolio generally takes 3 to 10 years to play out. So, continuing from that, there you have it. Peter Lynch, typical winner in Peter Lynch's portfolio will take anything between 3 to 10 years usually to play out. So that is the time horizon you probably need to hold a stock when you are a long-term investor before you see the value unlocking and the stock achieving the gains you are expecting from it. Rule number 4. Everyone can succeed in investing. Do the work and good things will come. I would argue that passion is more important than brain power. Charlie Munger. Well, this is certainly good news for me because I don't think I have the best brain power in investing myself, but what I do have is passion for it, as is evident with this YouTube channel I have set up. So good news for me here, I would say. Acknowledging what you don't know is the dawning of wisdom, Charlie Munger. So I think what Charlie tries to say here is that acknowledging what you don't know, you are able to avoid many mistakes with investing in companies or industries you actually don't know nothing about, and you haven't done your research, your studying, so that you would know enough about those companies and those industries to be a successful investor in them. Success comes from knowing what you don't know more than coming from what you do know. I think this is basically the same thing Munger is saying above, what Ray Dalio also echoes here. And number 4, the same point continued. Peter Lynch has lots to say about this, so let's have a few Peter Lynch quotes here. If you don't study any companies, you have the same success buying stocks as you do in a poker game if you bet without looking at your cards. So clearly, when investing, you need to study those companies and those industries like you study your cards in a Texas Hold'em poker game. It's completely nuts that you would invest in something that you haven't studied at all yourself. Never a good path to go. What I'm trying to say here is that you should listen to other people if there are people who know about companies and industries, but I do stress that you need to understand the theories also yourself every time and not just blindly invest in something without studying it at all. Visiting stores and testing products is one of the critical elements of the analyst's job. So this is Peter Lynch saying that on top of the company and industry, you need to know it's great advantage if you, for example, use the company's products, the products the company produces. If you use them yourself, you have first-hand knowledge of their product. Is it a good product or not? That's an important part of investing, actually. Knowing the product, knowing the service you are investing in. Your investor's edge is not something you get from Wall Street experts, it's something you already have. You can outperform the experts if you use your edge by investing in companies or industries you already understand. So this comes back to the circle of competence and investing in things you already have prior knowledge or prior interest, you have read about them a lot earlier, so investing in something you do know rather than something that is completely weird and odd for you, what you don't know anything about. And finally, if you're prepared to invest in a company, then you ought to be able to explain why in simple language that a fifth grader could understand and quickly enough so the fifth grader won't get bored. I think this is absolutely great sentence, and something I try to do. I'm not saying that you my listeners are on the level of fifth graders, no, not at all. But I believe that if you know something really well, a company or an industry, you are able to explain it easily to some person that has no knowledge of the company or industry at all. And once you're able to do this, then I feel this is like a good test of do you actually know what you're know the company or industry you're talking about or not? Because if you do, you would be able to explain it simply enough that a fifth grader can understand it. Absolutely great sentence by Peter Lynch, in my opinion. And finally, the fifth and last rule: do not panic. Control your emotions. Whatever happens, keep your cool. You are your best ally and worst enemy. I needed to add Arctic Money there because the name of the YouTube channel obviously is Arctic Money, and it relates to the fact that I try to always keep my cool when doing investing. And also the name, obviously, Arctic Money comes from the fact that Finland, the Arctic Circle goes through Finland, where I'm from. So yeah, when it means keeping your head cool in investing in, it also means that the name of the channel comes from the fact that it can be sometimes very cold here in Finland, but that's just a funny word play there, nothing else. Let's move on. I will tell you how to become rich. Close the doors. Be fearful when others are greedy. Be greedy when others are fearful. Warren Buffett. This is one of the Buffett classics, meaning that basically that don't be a sheep and follow the herd, be a wolf and go against what everybody else is doing. Unless you can watch your stock holding decline by 50% without becoming panic-stricken, you should not be in the stock market. Warren Buffett. This is a great sentence by Buffett, great quote by Buffett. I have been now investing myself for, let's say, almost 5 years. So that means I have seen, as an investor, one stock market crash myself, which obviously was the COVID pandemic. And it was a great learning experience for me to see my stocks decline 25%, 30%, and I wasn't getting panic-stricken myself. I was staying cool, Arctic Money cool even, and I was just kind of being excited because I knew that when a stock market crash happens, that presents the greatest opportunities to buy stocks when they are really cheap. And as with all crises we have seen during the last 100 years in the world has never ended. We have always bounced back. And when the COVID started, there was no doubt in my mind that we wouldn't bounce back. So when the crash started, I was not getting panic-stricken. I was getting excited about the opportunities that were about to present themselves to me. And that was actually a great experience for me, because then I think I knew that investing is something I should be doing, and I have a chance of becoming good in this one, in investing. So, those were my core values and principles of my investing, my 5 rules of investing, if you will. I try to learn by these teachings of some of the greatest investor legends out there, and try to conduct my own investing following these rules. If this is something that you think you agree to, that resonates with you, and you are interested in this type of investing, then I really suggest you subscribe to the channel and stay tuned, because we have lots of more content coming up that will follow these guidelines.